All right, today is Thursday, July 23rd, 2025, and it looks like another great day for me today. My account hitting 235,000. My Roth IRA also doing pretty good, up 5%, mostly on my leveraged AMD ETF. And this is on a day where the NASDAQ is also doing pretty good, up 0.46%, and then another 0.38% after hours. And just to give a quick update on my transaction history, I think the only thing I have to update is my Honest buy. So I did buy another 125 shares of Honest for $4.82 each. And there were two main things that I wanted to talk about today. The first one being Robinhood's Q&A that just came out. So if any of you guys have the Robinhood app, you'll know that some stocks offer this Q&A thing, a shareholder Q&A. And as of right now, it seems like the top question is, when will Robinhood start paying dividends? And as I've said in a previous video, I think it wouldn't be the worst idea for Robinhood to start paying a dividend. This was back before they hit their new all-time highs, or their original old all-time high of around $85. I said that once we pass that all-time high and start stabilizing above it, which is like what we're doing right now. We surpassed that old all-time high of $85 per share, and now we're stabilizing at around 100. And I think that paying a dividend at these levels is not the worst idea in the world, especially after all the progress that Robinhood has already made and the very healthy financial position that they're in right now. I think it would be okay for Robinhood to start rewarding those long-time shareholders that have stuck with the stock. And I already know what some of you guys are going to say. Oh, but Robinhood is a growth stock. Instead of paying a dividend, I would much rather have them just keep growing their business and their share price. Look, man, that's all fine and dandy. And just because a stock pays a dividend, it doesn't mean it has to stop growing. Like, people act like those are two mutually exclusive things. A perfect example of a stock that has done very well basically since its inception is American Express. I mean, even though American Express is not the first stock on people's minds when it comes to growth, it is a dividend paying stock, and it is also a company that continues to grow mostly because they're in the payments transactions industry. And it's a little bit easier for that industry to keep up with inflation just because payments will naturally go up with inflation, so their revenues and profits, etc. But still, American Express is a very innovative company that keeps up with the times, continues to stay relevant, and they continue paying a dividend. So I don't see what the problem is for a stock like Robinhood that is very financially healthy and has a great future ahead of them to start paying that dividend right now, slowly grow it, and maybe they will be allowed to enter some of these funds. Like, I know everybody talks about the S&P 500, but a lot of these dividend growth funds would love to pick up Robinhood. So I actually think Robinhood paying a dividend would benefit the stock price. There was another question that caught my eye. When will you start paying an interest in an IRA account, and when will you offer CDs? So CDs, I'm not really interested in. I think it would be cool if Robinhood offered treasuries directly from the app, because if any of you guys have tried using the treasuries, the government website to actually buy treasuries directly, you'll know that the user interface is very, very awful. But anyways, I think it would be interesting if Robinhood offered treasuries directly from the app, and then they collect like a very small percentage of it or whatever. But most likely they're not going to do that because that would anger all of their partner banks that are making a little bit of money off of the interest that Robinhood already offers through their gold. So they're probably not going to offer that, but I think it would be pretty cool if they did. But starting to pay interest on the cash balance in an IRA is definitely something that they should be considering, or at least offer treasuries in the IRA, not treasury ETFs, but literally having direct access to treasuries in the Roth IRA. I think would be a great addition to retirement business, I guess you could call it. But to get to my questions, I did ask these two questions. So if any of you guys wanted to upvote it to potentially have it read during the Q&A, I would much appreciate that. I think I've had one question a long time ago actually read on a Robinhood Q&A. I can't remember when it was. It's in one of my old videos probably. But I did ask Robinhood, are there any plans for a Robinhood calendar that tracks upcoming earnings, dividend income, options expirations, etc., which is a feature I've been talking about for a very long time now in multiple videos of mine. I think having a calendar on the Robinhood app that lets you pick which stocks to put on there in terms of upcoming earnings that you want to track, stocks that you want to trade, dividend income for stocks that you already own, and then having that estimated annual amount forecasted and the estimated monthly amount, but then also the realized amount, the real amount that you actually collected at the end of every single month. So for example, we're getting close to the end of July and I've collected some dividends, but then I also have some that are still pending. So they could have on a calendar the realized amount or the collected amount of dividends that I actually got, but then also the pending amount. And this is also a feature that a lot of people have been asking for every single time a Q&A comes out. So I think that would be a great feature to basically give a lot of people what they want all at the same time in one seamless feature, instead of having a dividend tracker and then a calendar and then all these like different features scattered around. Just have everything on one easy to use calendar to where people can track earnings, they can track dividend income, they can track option expiration dates. So this calendar would not only be useful for investors, but it would also be useful for traders as well. And people can pick and choose what to put on their calendar, customize it. They can screenshot it multiple times, share it on social media. It'd be a great marketing tool. So I know I don't have a lot of you guys watching my videos. I don't have a lot of subscribers either, but I think actually getting this question all the way up to the top so that it's actually on their minds at least, I think that would be great for all of us that are on Robinhood and continue to support the company. But then I also did ask a question that will probably result in me not being invited to any more Robinhood events, but it's okay because they didn't even invite me to this year's Hood Summit, which I'm still a little bit butthurt about, just kidding. But anyways, the question that I did ask was, with the slow gold card rollout and concierge service, is there a risk of Robinhood straying from their original goal of democratizing finance? I know this is kind of like a loaded question, but this question isn't really meant to be answered. It's just something that I want them to kind of be aware of, which I'm sure they already are. But basically, the goal of me asking this question is I want them to realize that all of these new features are cool and all, but it doesn't really matter if they keep cherry picking who to give it to and they continue these slow rollouts, even though it doesn't really make sense to, because I did see another post on X of a gold card user that says the 3% cashback on the gold card is only 3% cashback if you redeem it into your brokerage account, right? So if you want to redeem it as a statement credit, it's actually much less. So if that's the case, I don't see what the big deal is. I don't see how this card is such a money loser when so many other banks already offer 2% or 2.2% cash back for the SoFi credit card. A lot of companies like Citi, Chase, Discover, they offer 5% cash back cards. So I don't understand what the big deal is with this gold card that offers about like 2.5 to 3% cash back roughly. And you have to redeem it into your brokerage account. So like I said, I don't see what the big deal is for this whole slow rollout. And if they're so worried about adding so much risk to the balance sheet, just give gold card users or give gold users the option to get their gold card faster if they put up collateral and basically make it a secure card, right? So if let's say somebody wants the gold card right now, so Robinhood says, okay, give us somewhere between $200 to $500 or maybe $500 to $1,000, give that to us as collateral, and then we'll send you this gold card with that limit. So give some gold users the option to have that as their starter secure card, but still retain all the benefits that every other gold member has. So it doesn't seem like were, straying from that original message of democratizing finance. And another thing that Robinhood can do for users like myself that already pay Robinhood a lot of money in interest every single month, you can also prioritize these users, right? Because you're already making money off of them through interest. They're already paying you interest. So maybe you could prioritize them a little bit and send them the gold card first with a limit to minimize your risk. And I know it sounds like I'm butthurt because I still don't have the gold card, and maybe a part of that is because I have been waiting for the gold card for a long time, so a little bit of that anger is coming out. But still, the things that I'm talking about are things that I actually think will benefit Robinhood and Robinhood users. And like I said, I only have like 700 subscribers right now, so I don't expect this video to get very far. I don't expect, Robinhood to read off my questions and respond to me directly. It'd be cool and really nice if they did, but I'm not expecting anything. These are just ideas that I think would benefit tremendously, greatly benefit Robinhood the company, Robinhood users, and shareholders. But maybe I just don't know what I'm talking about. I mean, I am just another guy on the internet, so it is possible that I just have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. But the other thing that I wanted to talk about today is actually related to the upcoming earnings and just earnings in general. I know Google today, I want to say right now Google is up 2%. After earnings. Let me see really quick. Yeah, so I mean they've been giving up a lot of gains, so it's only up like 1.5% now. So they have been giving up a lot of their gains, but it's just been very weird this earnings season in terms of companies beating earnings, beating revenues and EPS, but it seems like the reaction to these earnings are very muted or just in the complete opposite direction. Because American Express is one that comes to mind. I want to say before earnings, they were 310. They were, no, not 310, 315. And then after earnings, I want to say they almost tagged 300. Let's check it out really quick. So I want to say it was like somewhere around here. So 315. And it was about a $15 move either way. So it could have hit 330 or went all the way down to 300. I thought about playing this earnings, but I thought it was a little bit too risky, so I avoided it, thank God. And another example of this is Capital One. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think after earnings, their stock was actually down. Another stock that is down pretty bad today is Chipotle, but also with Google. Usually Google's earnings reaction is very positive, and it's at least a 5% move. So this 1.5% after hours is pretty muted. And I know it looks like I timed it perfectly because yesterday's video, I did say that I sold, I want to say 9 shares. So I had a lot of 10 shares and I ended up selling 9 just to keep one of those shares. So I guess you could say I predicted this or whatever. But my conspiracy theory behind all of this basically is I want to say traders are saving liquidity for a lot of these smaller stocks and smaller companies that report either later this month or towards the beginning of August. So stocks like Robinhood, Lemonade, I want to say MAA, which is another recent stock that I bought. I know it's a REIT and their earnings is probably going to be very muted. But I also think VFC also hasn't reported yet. And also Honest has to report earnings. So it feels like traders are really saving up that liquidity for a lot of these earnings that are coming out later in the month or the beginning of next month. So if I had to guess, right, bookmark this, screen record this, hold me accountable if you want to. But this is going to be my earnings, quote unquote, prediction, if you want to call it that. But I think Robinhood on earnings is either going to go up to $120, so a 20% pop, or it's going to go down to about, I want to say $85 to $90. So it's either going to pop to 120 or it's going to go down to about $85, $90-ish. And Honest, if I had to guess, probably $6 to $7 after earnings. My long-term price target is still $10 per share. I think it's possible for Honest to hit that this year. And Lemonade, my price target on Lemonade is still $80, but after earnings, I want to say maybe $50, $60. So you guys can hold me accountable if you guys want to, on those future videos I'll upload after these earnings. But yeah, basically Robinhood is either going to 120 or it's going to go down to 85 to 90-ish dollars, and Honest maybe about $6.